Thanks for joining me on About Alberta Tech, which is focused on introducing Alberta tech companies to Albertans. Our goal is to share the innovation and diversity that exists in this province in quick bites. My name is Lenora Thomas, and today I'm joined by Kwame Asiedu, CTO at Braintoy. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So let's get started. Let's start with some background on you. How did you get into tech?
My background, so my dad was a geotechnical engineer, and he talks about stuff at home, and he opened my first Yahoo email, I think when I was in junior high, and so I was always interested in just working with computers. And after high school, I did computer engineering diploma. I have a bachelor's in computer science, and then I have a master's in geomatics engineering. And then after that, I started working in tech as a data scientist. In fact, after bachelor's, I worked with Vodafone, and then after my master's, I worked with Shaw. I was a data scientist. I've worked with NMAX, ATB Financial, all in data science space, and now in Braintoy.
Oh, wow. How did you found going from the company to company with data science?
Sorry, ask that again, please.
How have you found going from one company to the next in terms of rolling out data science? That's got to be pretty difficult, going from a Shaw to an NMAX to another.
Yeah, so I remember when I started at Shaw, data science was pretty new. In fact, they didn't even know what title to give me. So I think they called me, I was hired as a business analyst, and then a couple of months later they said, no, this doesn't fit. He's a data specialist. And then, later on they said data scientist. They had an idea what they wanted to do, but it took them time, and so we had to do a lot of proof of concepts to actually get them to understand what data science is before the organization bought into it, and then it was created. When I went to NMAX, it was similar, where they had a big data strategy and they're trying to implement it, but I was the only data scientist, and most people didn't really understand what it was. I think now they've gotten there too, but ATB was different. In ATB, they were matured. They had an innovation team, and then they had a data science team. And so there, it was more about commercializing the products. It was no longer proving concepts. It was more about, now we know what data science can do, and we want to be able to actually apply it and build production machine learning products that our clients could use. So that's how it's been so far. It wasn't easy trying to do data science in organizations where the culture don't really support it, or where leadership don't really understand where it's going. But when you're able to also prove to them that they can save some money, they can increase profits, reduce operational efficiency, improve operational efficiencies and whatnot, then you start to get them thinking about it. And I think that's what helped me.
Excellent. Okay, so let's look at what you're doing now. You are with Braintoy. What does Braintoy do?
Yeah, so Braintoy is a machine learning platform company. We do have a pipeline that unifies the creation of model, and also unifies the process for creating models across the businesses. My co-founder Padma, actually in 2008, he started this when he was working with a ton of data, and he realized that he was always copying and pasting data. Copying and pasting codes, and he was creating one-off models. And so he found a way to basically create this pipeline where you can build thousands of models and scale them quickly. And I met him in school. He was at the time doing his PhD in computer science. I was doing my master's in geomatics engineering, and we started meeting in classes. And then we found out we had complementary skills. And I hated the same thing he hated, which was, just copying copying code and pasting them. And yeah, so basically we decided that we need to solve this problem. So even when we both worked as data scientists, everywhere we went, the idea was to help organizations have a pipeline that can let them build and scale models, production machine learning models fast. And so we applied it in our work. And then later on we said, hey, we can actually do this full time, create a platform that we think will make it easy for other companies to also benefit from this 21st century technology.
Neat. So can you give me an example of how one of your customers has implemented this to solve a pain point?
There is one client that actually had, according to them, they are working with one of these big, we call them the big box guys, specifically Amazon. So they are AWS using SageMaker, and they have a big team, and they do natural language processing and computer vision. But then they realize that their processes is just not streamlined. They don't have an automated pipeline, and that slows them down. They are not able to really build and deploy faster. But also, there are usually a lot of arguments between engineering and the data science team, because when data science gives them a version of the model, engineering might deploy a wrong version, and there's a back and forth, and that creates tension. They also spend a ton of money. One use case, instead of it being maybe completed in a couple of weeks, takes them a couple of months, sometimes even 6 months. And so for them, Braintoy gave them this pipeline where they can research, can build all the data science products, and they can publish the complete package, the Docker images and all of that into a location, or even if it's a microservice, and then engineering will just take them up. And then now they are tagged with the versions, which one is later. You can see the history of, different models, etc. So that conversation ceased, which was good for them. And also they are able to build and scale these models now in a streamlined fashion. They also have a unified process, because one of the leaders, she said, I have a team and everybody seems to be using different frameworks and different methods. I don't have a unified way across my organization for my data science teams, but Braintoy provides that. And so they really love that. The other company that I'll talk about is Box of Docs. I think I can mention their name because they have given us permission to even put them on our site. They recently changed their names to Untopical. And so for them, they had over 150,000 documents, and these are text documents. And every day they keep getting more, about 10,000 or more. And they want to quickly be able to do what is called topic modeling. So if they and these documents are minutes from governments, municipalities, and etc. And they want to know what is being discussed this week. What is everybody talking about? What is common across the conversations? What is standing out? What is unique? But also, they don't have a pipeline for doing this. And they are again using these big boxes, and they have some data scientists, in-house, but they're a small company, and they also cannot afford to hire a lot of people doing this. So if they have an automated pipeline, it'll be easy for them that they can just dump the document, no matter how many they are, and they can just push a few buttons. The topics are there. They will just set some parameters, and then they get a top 10, and they can integrate it into some web app, some interface for their clients, and they know how they can monetize that. So for them, this was also very useful. And I think in about 6 weeks of working with them, they were able to get a microservice running on top of over 150,000 documents. And they even did a pitch in San Francisco with investors, and they're super excited.
That is neat. Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you get Braintoy started with your co-founders, and why here in Alberta?
Yeah. So me and Padma, the one I met in school, we've always been we came here, we're immigrants, and so but we loved being here. When we were in school, we saw this problem. as we do research, as we do school projects, we're always still doing machine learning for school projects, our thesis and all of that. And so we saw this problem, and it needs to be solved. We saw it also in the industry. And so we always said we will work for ourselves. We have to do this. But we also felt that it would be good to also get some experience from the industry. And so when we started working, we realized that, we're actually getting these experiences. And both of us started as data scientists, but in the end ended up leading data science team. When I was at ATB, I was director of artificial intelligence lab just before I left. So we acquired that, all of those skills that we thought could help us run a company. And so it was time for us to now move to solve it. So for Paul, I met him in school, and we've always wanted to do something. Even if it's not this, we want to work for ourselves someday. And then our third co-founder, Amit Varma, he used to be in the Zone startup at GE, where Paul used to work. And, they would meet and have conversations, and he co-founded a company called VRAM. So when he exited, it was just around the same time that we also felt it was right for us to, release this product, because AI is here, companies are struggling, but we feel everybody needs to be empowered to, use this technology. If you don't use it, you are missing out. And so that's how we came together. So yeah, Paul I knew from school, and Paul knew Amit from the workplace. And, that's how the three of us decided, okay, we have the same objective, the same goal. Let's go ahead and do it.
Neat. Okay, so were you all based in Calgary?
Yeah, we're all based in Calgary. And I think that's the other part of the question I forgot to answer is why here? For all of us, for some reason, we just wanted to be here. Most of our mates got jobs and all of us too, we got jobs, recruiters from Facebook, from Amazon, they will hit on you, try to, poach, try to hire. Some of the data scientists I was working with at Shaw are now working at Google. So it's like that. People wanted to leave, but we wanted to stay here. I came to Canada, I came to school here. And for some reason, I just wanted to be here. I never really wanted to move to the States or anywhere. And so if I am creating a company to also help solve problems, then I think that my product will help Albertans, which is where I live. It will help them, and they will also be able to embrace this new technology. And if we solve more problems, it will end up in creating more revenue, creating more jobs, reducing poverty, all the things that you can think of. We live here, we better work to also help and support the region. So yeah.
I love it. Okay, so as far as your growth, you've got some customers, you're building it out, everything. What are you growing towards?
Yeah, so for us, our main goal with Braintoy is to empower anyone. In fact, one of our slogans is that we call it AI for everyone. We want to be able to empower anyone to use this. Data science today seems to be this technology or this skill that only a few people have, right? And because of that, it's also expensive. And most of the technologies out there are also very complex for others to use. Yep. And so the big giants or big companies who have millions or billions of dollars, they can build teams with thousands or hundreds of data scientists and data engineers. But even they are also struggling, right? It still takes them a long time. But what about the other person who might be a data analyst, a business analyst? They never know how to code or never even want to learn how to code, or they have a background as statisticians or they know mathematics and, they are handicapped. They are not able to apply this technology to solve problems, but they have meaningful problems that needs to be solved, and AI could help. So that's where we're growing towards. We really want to put this technology in the hands of everyone so that they can apply it to solve meaningful problems. And if they solve meaningful problems, they'll be addressing a lot of issues for all of us, and we'll all enjoy the benefits. So basically, that's our goal. AI for everyone. It has to be in the hands of everyone. everyone should be able to use it. It doesn't have to be complex and super expensive. Let's just make it available. Let's just make it accessible. Because I always think that if AI is supposed to make our life easy, then why are the technologies for building AI so complex? Why can't we use AI to make the development of AI simple, right? So we have to do that, and that's where we're growing towards. That's our goal for Braintoy.
Awesome. All right. So what else do you think our community should know about you and Braintoy?
I think what they should know about us is we're here to support. We're here to help you embrace AI, to use them to solve meaningful problems, and to help you gain competitive advantage, to reduce costs, to increase profits, all of these things. But also, a lot of people think that AI is scary and you have to have a lot of money and you need to be able to build these ton of teams and all of that. And I just want them to know that this is why we created Braintoy. It is not scary. It is something that you can also leverage to really help improve, whatever it is that you want to do. And this is why we are here. So you don't have to have a lot of money. Reach out to Braintoy and we'll be here to help you. You don't have to be too big to work with us. You don't have to be also too small to work with us. We will sit with you. We will help you. We will, whatever that is needed, we will help you to leverage this. I call it the incredible technology in the 21st century that you have to use so that you don't miss out.
It's so true. It's being used on so many software products and applications now. And most people don't even know it's there.
No, they don't. And they don't even know where to start. Some people have heard of it. How do I start? And where is it going to take me? What can I even use it for? A lot of people don't even know the type of problems that AI could address, right? But the thing is that AI is here, and the people that are leveraging it would definitely have an advantage over the others. So we don't have to wait. And fortunately, Braintoy is here to help. But we are also not the only one. There are a ton of other organizations here in Alberta that are working. So, get to talk to someone and let them help you to embrace this, because it will really help the organization.
I agree. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Lelona. Really nice meeting you. And
you.
Enjoy the rest of your week.